Welcome back to my channel. So I have got my hands on the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. So this is what this gorgeous palette looks like, and I have to say these eyeshadows are so beautiful, so well thought out. The shades in this palette, the pigmentation is amazing, so easy to work with. It really is a palette for anyone and everyone, which is super exciting. So this is my first ever look I'm creating with this palette. I will be featuring it in so many more tutorials, whether I'm doing another tutorial with completely this palette or using it with other looks and other products. It definitely is one that I'll be able to grab a lot. But yeah, I thought I'd kick off my first look with this palette with something colourful. You know I love my colours, and incorporating colour and making it look a little bit wearable. So if you like this makeup look, then please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And of course, in the meantime, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter. But for now, I really hope you enjoy watching this makeup look right here. So let's keep it moving. So first up we have the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I absolutely love using this as a base for eyeshadows, and I'm loving doing all of my eyes before I do my base. So that's why I take a bit of concealer underneath my eyes as well, just on my under eye area, blend it all out. That way it acts as a base for anything we're going to put underneath also. So yeah, it just stays matte and it wipes out any discoloration. I really love it. Then I like to just set the area with a little bit of Laura Mercier translucent powder. This will just make any eyeshadows that we apply on top of that really smooth and easy to blend. Then here is the amazing Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm taking this top shade here as a transitional colour, and this is just going through the crease nice and easy. Moving on, we're going to take this really nice matte aqua greeny shade, and we're just going to pack this on the outer corner of the eye and then take it through the crease and keep building and blending this up. That is the key to this, especially when you're working with colours, like really strong colours. You don't want to go in with too much and then find it difficult to blend. So I like to keep going in with a little bit at a time, blend, and as you can see, I'm going back in with a fluffy, clean blending brush to diffuse the shadow a little bit more, making it a bit easier to do so. So do spend a little bit of time on your blending. I'm taking it now in small circular motions because this will just blend that shade slightly higher also, and then I'm just taking that same colour along the lower lash line and making sure that the top and bottom of the eye meet on the outer corner. Then I'm taking this bottle green eyeshadow and I am just packing this onto the outer corner of the eye now. We really want to get that shadow on, but these colours are so pigmented that you really don't need to pick up a lot, and there's hardly, well, there is actually no fallout, which was amazing. They're not really powdery, so I was super impressed with that. So yeah, and then I'm just going in with a bit of a messy cut crease right now. Don't worry about it. I'm just going right into the crease with that, and then with a smaller blending brush I am just going to blend that out. I'm just going to soften it a little bit, and as usual I'm just going to build it up, so where I feel like I need to. So I'm just going to keep building and blending, and that is the key. And then I'm just going to take it slightly higher and a little bit deeper into the crease. And then I'm just taking that same shadow along the lower lash line. So anything we're doing on the top, we're doing it on the bottom, and then we're making it meet up on that outer corner, as you can see, like I'm doing right now. And we want it to look seamless. And then I just like to go in with a bigger blending brush to make sure it's a little bit blown out. Then I'm using this NYX Vivid Brights like cream colour. I'll leave the shades and names of everything down below. And I'm going to cut the crease with this, because we're going to use like an aqua greeny metallic eyeshadow over the top of it. I thought a really nice aqua greeny base would work really well. So yeah, I applied that, and then I'm going in with this metallic aqua green shadow from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm starting off just on the end of where that half crease has been cut, because I can fade it out into the outer corner of the eye, and then I'm just bringing that shadow in. And as you can see, because I've already applied a base, it makes the metallic shadow pop even more, and it just looks really nice and vibrant. So I'm just taking that on the lid, anywhere where I've already cut the crease, and you just want to keep packing on this shadow until you're happy with it, getting it nice and close to that edge. And then I'm going in with this really bright aqua colour, and I'm running this along the edge of the cut crease, so like, yeah, the end of it, so that there's a transition between the lid shade and the outer corner shade. I really liked how that looked, and it just made the lid shade pop even more. And then I decided to take that same really bright aqua shade just along the lower lash line also, just to give it a bit of dimension and to brighten things up too. And I never really wear like metallic shadows on my lower lash line, but I do really like it, so that's why I've done that. And then I've gone back in with the bottle green eyeshadow, so the dark one, just along that cut crease, just to redefine and make it look a little bit deeper, and then going back in with the same blending brush to make sure everything looks really nice and soft and seamless. And then for wing liner, I'm using my NYX Epic Ink Liner pen. This is super nice and super easy to use. So this is just going along the lash line. I can't speak. Yeah, it's just going all along the lash line, and then we're creating a really nice wing with that. And then I thought to break up all the greens and the bluey colours, and yeah, just to add a little something to the look, I added a bit of gold glitter along that wing liner over the top, and this is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter in the shade Midnight Cowboy. And doing something like this always spruces up any makeup look, so I really like doing that. And then I'm going in with the NYX Faux Whites pencil, and this is just going on my inner waterline again, just to make things pop and brighten things up. I feel like I've done a few things that I wouldn't normally do in a tutorial in this tutorial, and I like how it's turned out, and I hope you do too. But yeah, for mascara, I've gone back to one of my old favourites, and this is the L'Oreal False Lash Sculpt Mascara, and I'm just applying a few coats of this on top and bottom lashes. And then for the base, so that's like basically all of the eyes done, and we'll come back for falsies later. I'm going in with my Kevyn Aqua Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX11. I like to apply this on any areas where I've got any scarring, discoloration, pigmentation. It just covers it up nice and quickly and adds warmth back into the skin. And then for foundation, I'm mixing my Marc Jacobs foundation with the L'Oreal True Match. I loved the combination of these two. Marc Jacobs is super full coverage and very matte, whereas L'Oreal is a bit more of a satin finish and medium to full coverage. So it was lovely, and I stippled this on to get full coverage but a very nice flawless base. And then I've got my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer making another appearance, and this is going underneath the eyes, and I'm just avoiding that lower lash line so I don't get any concealer in it. And then I'm applying this on any of the usual spots to highlight, and then you just want to blend that all out. And I like to do that by stippling the product in, and really just, if I am going to like rub, it's very soft, but it's mainly a stippling motion so that I keep the full coverage there while blending it and getting rid of any excess product. And then I'm taking a slightly smaller brush along that lower lash line, like I said, so I don't mess up that eyeshadow. But I'm going in with the blending brush that I've used before with no extra product, just to make sure it's still nice and soft on that lower lash line. And then I'm using the Huda Beauty Gold Sands palette, highlight palette. I really can't speak, can I? And then I'm taking the cream highlighter from it, and this is in the shade Fiji, and this is just on the top of my cheekbones. And then I'm going to set my under eye area and any other areas now with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I like to get all of the cream products out of the way first and then go in with powder. So yeah, I'm just patting that on, and then I'm just taking this on my nose, basically all over my nose, because it gets very oily. And then I'm just taking this on any other areas where we've already highlighted with the concealer. And then to set the rest of my face makeup, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish powder in the shade Medium Dark, and I'm just buffing this onto the skin really nicely and gently. And this, like I said, is just to set the rest of the face makeup. For bronzer, I've got Ofra Versatile Matte Bronzer, and I love this. I've not used this in a while, but I really love this. And I'm just applying this onto the hollows of my cheeks, and I'll also be applying this onto my temples. This is just going to give the skin a little bit of warmth. Yeah, I don't really contour with my bronzer. This is just for warmth. And then to contour, I've got this Morphe palette. All the shades and names of everything will be down below, but I'm mixing these two shades right here. And if you want to know what brushes I'm using, they will be, I will link my brushes video down below for you, so you can check that out and you'll know exactly what I'm using. So this is just going in the hollows of my cheeks, on my temples, and then I'm also just going to contour my nose also. If you guys want an in-depth nose contour video, then let me know. But yeah, I'm like creating a little ball at the end of my nose because I really like doing that recently, but let me know if you want an in-depth video. Then I'm taking the powder highlighter from the same Huda Beauty palette, and this is in the shade Seychelles, and this is just going along the top of the cheekbones, and I'm just building this highlighter up. You guys know I love my highlight, so yeah, I'm going a little bit crazy with it. And then I'm just applying it anywhere else that I feel needs a little glow, so just on my nose, the tip of it, forehead, cupid's bow, chin, you name it, it's going there. And then for blush, I've got MAC in the shade Gingerly, which is a really nice subtle blusher. It's one that is there but not there because I don't really want to take the attention away from the eyes whatsoever. So I'm just applying this onto the apples of my cheeks and then brushing it back into that contour so that everything looks really nice and seamless. And then I'm just taking this bronzy shade from the same Huda Beauty palette, and I'm just taking that over the top of anywhere where I've bronzed and contoured and anything like that, just because it adds a bit of dimension and glow. And then back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm taking this really nice light shimmery shade from it, and this is just going on the inner corners of the eyes to make it pop a little bit more, and it kind of just like brings the look together. And then for the lips, I've got Whirl Lipliner by MAC, which I am just lining my lips with. I like to do my bottom lip first, and then on my top lip I really like to round off the shape because it makes it look fuller. Then I'm going in with Yash lipstick by MAC, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite nudes. And then I'm going in with a new gloss by NYX, and it's like a metallic-y one. I'll leave the name of it down below. And then just going back and lining my lips to redefine and make sure that they look nice and full and plump. And then for lashes, these are Lustre Lashes, and these are in the style Kim, which I'm just applying onto my lash line, and then I like to just tuck in each corner to make sure they are nicely on. But this, guys, is the finished look. I really hope you like it. Let me know if there's any other looks that you'd love for me to create using this palette. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Comment down below. Please don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye.